Tonight, we step into the mist of the Highlands, where silence hides more than it reveals. A young teacher, kind, gentle, beloved by her students, was found in her room under mysterious circumstances. A torn journal, a strange parcel, whispers. In the night, and knocks at the door that no one dares to answer. This is the unsolved case of the mountain teacher. Are you ready to hear her story? The mysterious case of the mountain. Teacher night in the Highlands comes faster than in the city, like a lid slamming down on a pot, sealing in smoke and silence. By 9 o'clock that evening, the mist had already crawled down the mountainsides, thick as milk, swallowing the stone slope that led to the teacher's dormitory. The villagers went to bed early, only the occasional dog barked from afar. Yet if anyone had walked past the long corridor of that dormitory, they might have noticed something strange. The door of room 3 was not closed, but left slightly ajar, creaking against its frame with a sound dry and brittle, like old bones snapping. Who left it open? Was it the careless hand of the wind, or someone waiting, standing quietly in the dark? Miss Mai had only been in this village for half a year, 26 years old, slender, with a soft smile that never seemed to weigh down her face. The children adored her, calling her Miss Sunshine because she often wore a yellow sweater and laughed gently, as if afraid of waking the fog itself. But sunshine cannot last forever. That evening she attended a colleague's birthday party in the Yi Vai. Next building. She left earlier than the rest, still carrying a stack of notebooks, insisting she needed to finish grading before morning. Why leave so quickly? Was she truly in a hurry, or did she sense something waiting for her in the night? The following morning. When the village woke, her room was silent. A woman who sold food to the teachers knocked on her door but heard nothing inside. She pushed gently. The smell of damp plaster and cheap shampoo spilled out. The room was in disarray. A plastic chair toppled to the floor, notebooks scattered like fallen leaves, and a fountain pen left uncapped, ink bleeding across the desk like a spreading bruise. Was there a struggle? Or had she been writing something? Crucial, only to be interrupted before finishing her final words. Police were summoned. The story spread quickly, faster than the fog that rolled down the valleys. Everyone in the village said the same thing. Mai was kind, gentle, without enemies. But then, why her? Why that night? Dogs had howled endlessly the evening before. Half an hour of cries, longer and louder than usual. What did they see, or smell, that no human noticed? Investigators examined her phone. The last message she sent at 10:14 p.m. read, "If anything happens, look in my desk drawer." Inside, they found a grey notebook. Several pages had been ripped out, edges jagged like torn roots. Who had torn them? And more importantly, what? Had those missing pages revealed? At the cafe by the slope, the owner whispered, "I heard footsteps last night. Not one person, two." 2 sets of feet in the mist. Was one of them Mai's? Or were they both strangers, walking together toward room 3? If there were 2, did they come as accomplices, or one to lure, one to silence? On the second day, district investigators arrived. They asked about the dormitory keys. Old Mr. Fan, the school guard, explained that each room had 2 keys. One, kept by the teacher, the other hanging in his office. "No one touches them," he said. But the rack showed a gap, one hook empty. His answer came too quickly. "That's the storage shed key. I lent it out." But was it truly the storage key, or had someone borrowed the spare to room 3? And if so, who returned it, quietly, before anyone noticed? Colleagues recalled that Mai had left the birthday party before 9. A student remembered. She had received a thin parcel earlier that day. What did it contain? In the trash outside, police found a strip of tape with a single red thread clinging to it. By the sink, they discovered a handkerchief smeared with yellow soil, the kind only found on the northern slope, where almost nobody walked at night. Did someone from that remote path step into her room? The villagers had more to say, as they always do. A stranger had been seen at the market days before, wearing a faded green jacket, shoes worn thin, asking for the way to the school. Who was he? Why would a stranger search for the teacher's dormitory? In her classroom, faint chalk still lingered on the blackboard. Don't forget. Was it her handwriting, scrawled in a rush? Or the cruel reminder of someone mocking her fate? Theories multiplied like moths around a lamp. Some said an old lover had returned, others whispered about smugglers. A few muttered about jealous rivals, and still others, lowering their voices, blamed forest spirits. But is it easier to believe in spirits than to admit that perhaps one of us is guilty? That night I walked the corridor alone. The air was heavy, carrying the smell of mould. On the dusty windowsill of room 3, I thought I saw it, a faint handprint. Long fingers, nails sharp. Did my eyes deceive me? Or had someone pressed their hand there, watching her from outside? Sometimes the smallest trace screams louder than the loudest witness. By the 3rd day, the sky cleared. Clouds stretched thin. Across the ridges like veils. A boy named Lou approached me shyly, holding a folded scrap of paper he found in class. The handwriting was unmistakable, Mai's. Someone is following me. I don't know who. Last night, when I turned off the light, I heard whispering. The line cut off. The page had been torn. It matched perfectly with the missing pages. From her journal. Who tore them out? Did she hide this note on purpose, or did someone scatter it while searching her things? Her phone records revealed repeated missed calls from an unknown number. One text, received before the final message, read, "Don't tell anyone." Who demanded her silence, and what was she forbidden to say? Investigators also found the empty parcel box under her bed, dusted with chalk powder. A piece of newspaper stuck inside showed the Friday schedule. Stories of teachers in the Highlands. She disappeared on Thursday night. Was she meant to hear something on Friday? Or was the programme simply a cover for something else, a signal perhaps? Among her pupils' notebooks, police uncovered another scrap. They won't believe me. I think it's linked to the timber at Pù Lân. Trucks move at midnight. The line ended abruptly. Had she stopped because someone walked into the room? Or had fear frozen her hand mid-sentence? Pù Lân forest, dense, forbidden, famous for its ancient hardwoods. Smugglers often risk their lives there. If Mai had stumbled onto their secret, would they ever let her leave? Her handkerchief bore yellow soil and burrs from plants that grew only along the Pù Lân trail. Did she go there herself, following her suspicion? Or did the forest in some way follow her back into her room? That evening I questioned the guard again. He smiled thinly, claiming he slept through the storm. But behind him the key rack still bore its gap. Did he know more than he dared to admit? Was his silence cowardice or guilt? At dusk I walked near the stream. Children laughed somewhere far away. A Jew's harp played faintly, but whispers too. Can travel across valleys. Was it only the wind in the bamboo I heard, or something else? The same whisper Mai wrote about in her journal, close, insistent, too close to ignore. On the 4th night, the village lit its market with lanterns. Golden. Light spilled across faces, familiar and strange. Through the crowd I glimpsed it again, a faded green jacket. Someone slipping between the stalls. By the time I followed, he had vanished. Who was he? Why did he always appear only to disappear the moment he was noticed? Later that night, wind lashed the dormitory. At 11 sharp, I heard it. 3 knocks. Pause, then 2, exactly as Mai had warned her students. My breath froze in my throat. I opened the door. No one. Only the faint trace of a fresh footprint on the damp floor. Oval, long, toe worn outward, the mark of someone who had walked mountains all their life. Whose footprint was it? Were they still nearby, watching? Or had they already walked away? Into the mist. At dawn, new evidence surfaced. A motorbike abandoned near Pù Lân forest. License plate gone. Inside its seat compartment, an empty parcel box and a radio stripped of batteries. Why a radio? Was there once a tape inside, a recording? And if so, what did it capture? A confession, a scream, or the voice of Mai herself? Back in her classroom, chalk still faintly spelled "Don't forget." Behind a rotting panel of the wall, I discovered a final note in her hand. They already know. Who are they? The smugglers? People from the village? Or someone else entirely? Someone closer than we dare to imagine? On my last night in the village, rain poured as I drove away. The car radio buzzed with static, then caught a signal. Stories of teachers in the Highlands. The narrator's voice was steady, the music soft. But between two songs came a pause. And in that pause, I could swear I heard it. A whisper, broken, far away. Don't forget. Was it just interference? Or was it her voice, carried by the storm? Outside, fog pressed against the glass, tapping softly. 3 knocks, then 2. Was it the rain, or had someone followed me down the mountain? The case remains unsolved. Stranger or acquaintance, a jealous rival, a secret hidden in the forest, or all of them together, conspiring in silence. Could the missing pages of her journal reveal everything? Or does the tape from that broken radio still exist, waiting in some hidden drawer, holding the truth we may never want to hear? For now, all that remains is the fading chalk on a classroom blackboard in a mountain village. To this day, the case remains unsolved. Was it a stranger, a jealous rival, or a secret carried out of the forest? Perhaps the missing tape still holds the truth, hidden in the dark. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below and together. Let's try to solve this mystery. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you won't miss the next unsolved case we uncover. Until then, may your night be peaceful, unless you hear 3 knocks and then 2.